Hi, and welcome to Podcast 2000 with your hosts,
Eden Shizzle.
And me, Smolpuppz. Today is episode 3, and we are really excited to be back.
I am. It feels like it's been over a month.
I know it's only been like a couple weeks, but life happens.
Yeah. Important mental health break. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we are themed red and black this episode.
We're emo.
We're gonna push into the theming in this podcast.
Yeah, so it's fun. I'm like an emo Sailor Moon.
Yeah, and I'm just a red and black guy with a black and red guy with black eyeliner. Black guy.
No, dude, you are literally dressed exactly how like every guy had a crush on in 7th grade was. Like just the black hoodie, eyeliner.
I should have put black nail polish or something.
Oh no, I never paint my nails anymore, so I feel you.
Why not? I didn't even realize that.
I don't know. I used to get my nails done like all the time or like paint them and stuff, and now I've just been really lazy.
Oh,
that's all it comes down to. And especially like with actually like having nails like acrylics, like it's really hard for me to type at work if they're too long, so I just give up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a fast typer, but I mess up a lot. Well, we have a lot of things to talk about today, including, if you guys don't know, Jeffree Star and Daniel Hilton Lucas got in an accident about a month ago. And there are certain things that I wanted to go over with that subject. We're also going to talk about, we're just going to go off a little bit about the Jeffree Star stans that have been attacking me on Twitter for specific reasons, including Kat's Insider article. And then we're just going to also talk about content from the 2000s. And we'll go further in on that later on in the podcast. But what have you witnessed this past week? Since you've been on a mental health break, I don't expect you to have like really been on social media that much.
Yeah, mental health / vodka binge.
But, yeah, I mean,
well, okay, so I had like some personal stuff go on, but also like my best friend ever he lives in Portland, and I actually met him at my residential treatment center in Utah when I got sent to kid prison. So we visit each other and stuff, and he came down here and we like spent a lot of time together. So that was really fun. But yeah, like the most that I've really seen online was, of course, I first saw the news that they got in a car accident. People were being super rude about it, very insensitive. And I was like, Look, I don't really care for Jeffree anymore either. He's not necessarily a good person, but I'm not going to fucking make jokes about him dying. Like, that's really agree. Dumb. But then Daniel started getting real lippy with you and being really petty just because you reached out to him to say, I hope you're okay. And he thinks that that's clout chasing. Like,
he said more. He was very nasty to me. And for those who don't know, I have a history with Daniel, not a big history at all. I just have known him for over 10 years, pushing 15.
Yeah.
No, I've known him literally 15 years. And we were friends, or I thought we were friends for the longest time. He liked my Instagram pictures like a few months ago. And that's when I lurked him. I saw like it was around that time where we reconnected, because there was a really big gap of silence in our friendship, which everyone who had friends 10 years ago knows what it's like to like still care about that person, but you don't really talk. Right. He wasn't like a close friend of mine at all, I'll say that. But when he first reached out to me, I was 16 years old. He's about 5 years older than me. I believe he was either like 20 or 21. He was getting very sexual with me. And look, I admit that I should have said something, or no, I shouldn't. I don't have to say anything until I feel comfortable with it. And I know that it was very convenient for me to bring it up after he acted petty. But then again, why would I do that to my friend? Why would I bring those things up about someone I believed was my friend? That's my point here. Like, I noticed that he was rude to me after I reached out to him. He acted like, I was like, for people who don't know, again, I was like, why aren't you following me? I thought you were following me. And I am the person that'll bring it up. And they were just like, oh, I haven't followed you for years. That's what Daniel said. And I was like, okay, that's weird, because I for sure saw that it said follow back. And that's why I started following you, because it made me feel good. And I think the comments are still up there or whatever. But he was like, nope, haven't followed you in years. You're tripping. And then he tweeted right after that about people who I haven't talked to in over 10 years think blah, 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 whatever. I'll probably throw the screenshots up right here. But It was just irritating. It really hurt me, honestly. I reached out to him privately when I saw that, and I won't name who sent me the text with his tweets because I don't follow him on Twitter and I don't care what he's doing.
Sorry, they're going nuts right now. I'm trying to
I love puppies.
Here, let me throw them in the other room real quick. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Come on, upstairs. Let's go. Go.
Daniel used to call himself Daniel Hilton for a reason. It's because he was a fan of Amore Hilton and me, and my name was Eden Hilton. And I'm not big-headed, and I don't believe that like I'm like some big god that was like an icon back then at all. But I do know that
you were popular back then, though.
I was popular, but I wasn't like. I'm not trying to make it seem like I was like huge and he wanted to be me, and he probably just wanted to be Amore or maybe Paris Hilton. But he made his name Daniel Hilton when him and I started talking, and so I don't remember exactly where I was, but I know how I feel about this. And my point is that it just sucked to me to see that he was like suddenly so dismissive of me reaching out to make sure he's okay, even though I'm against Jeffree with the whole predatorial alleged thing and the Insider Magazine thing, which we'll talk about later, I guess. It's like, still, I reached out to make sure he's okay. I even posted on my TikTok saying like, people stop saying this karma, like, you don't know these people, like you don't know Daniel. But now I look at it and Daniel's just not a good person. And the way that he made me feel like I'm a friend after he like talked, we both talked sexually to each other, but I was a minor. And after that, making me feel like we were friends this whole time, basically feels like grooming to me. You groomed me into believing we were friends, so I don't say a word about that. And boom, here we are 15 years later. And now I'm going to say something because now I realize we're not friends.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had my fair share of guys who were older talking to me when I was young, and like, you don't really think about it because when you are younger, talking to someone older, to you, it doesn't really feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah, because you're not the one that's doing the bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. You're not doing something wrong. But like, once you get older and you're like, oh, if, you know, when I was 22, I would never like go talk to a 15 or 16-year-old online. Like, I would maybe say hi and stuff, but I would never think to like be sexual with someone younger than me like that. Yeah. So that's clearly predatory.
Yeah. And he used the fact that he knew Jeffree as a tool. And it was like, after a while, him and Jeffree weren't even friends anymore. And that's when he got closer to my friend circle. He came to my friend Kelly's birthday party. I have a picture with him. I don't know where it is because I didn't hold on to it. It's probably on my photo bucket or on my old MySpace or even on like Twitter. Who knows? But just in case people are just thinking I'm like saying this to say it. And I attacked him with a shoe at that party, but I'm not going to go into detail about that because it really has nothing to do with this. But I'm just saying, like,
it's a funny
he's always
story,
gotten under my skin, I guess. I guess he's always known how to do that.
Yeah, it just sounds like, honestly, he thinks he's hot shit because he's hanging out with Jeffree lately when Jeffree is like a bigger deal than he used to be. But like, clearly Jeffree is just looking for people who will still tolerate him. So he has to reach back out to people from like 10 years ago.
He wants to prove that he still has his old friends and that he doesn't just like cycle
all his through
friends. Like he has long-term friends is what he's trying to prove. When in reality, Daniel is a cancer survivor. And so like just because someone is a cancer survivor or is like dealing with something or dealt with something, it doesn't mean they're exempt from being a bad person. So
exactly.
So when he was asking people online for money for the bills, which is totally understandable, I'm not going to shame that. Everyone was always tagging Jeffree. Aren't you going to help your friend? And I'm not saying like you owe this to your friend, but if you're going to flaunt all this money and burn expensive $10,000 handbags and all that, donate to your friend. But he didn't care at that time, and people were even mentioning that in the comments. So it's like,
Jeffree,
of course, how convenient is it for Jeffree to bring him back into his life for a video and maybe a 6-month period?
Yeah, I mean, Jeffree's like just a very manipulative person. It's very clear to see over the years anyway. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't cycle through friends as well, because that's just life, but I don't manipulate and use people to my advantage when it's convenient and then cycle through them.
Yeah. I mean, we all cycle through friends, but it's like, how hard is he trying to prove, like going out of his way to contact someone that he barely like talked to this past like almost decade?
Yeah.
That he has friends still, or like old friends that tolerate him, even his past self, because he's changed, and people can change. I've done things in the past that don't reflect who I am today, and I'm sure you have too.
Oh yeah, totally.
But we're not virtue signaling, and that's what I'll always call that, even if it doesn't have to do with politics.
Definitely not. I don't expect anybody to be perfect because like, I mean, I just had my own little like ratchetness on Friday or whatever. Like, I'm not like some fucking, image of perfection in any way, shape, or form. That's kind of my brand, is being trashy. So
yeah, you inspired me this week to like keep my embarrassing stories up, because I told Mandi how I'm like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, why did I post this on my story? Because I go through like random manic episodes, but they're not that big. Like, they're just like moments where I'm like confident and untouchable and like no one can destroy this or hurt my ego because I'm just made of steel. But then like I wake up very vulnerable and I'm like, why did I post this? This is so embarrassing. Like, stop. What if this person saw it? What's this person thinking about it? Oh no, this person saw it too. But then Mandi was like, just who gives a fuck? Be yourself. Like, live your life. One life
seriously,
to live.
like,
whatever. I agree.
I gave this little speech on my live on Friday that someone actually reached out to me and was like, hey, like, you probably won't ever see this, but like, I really want to thank you for like, the little speech you gave and stuff about like being human. Cause like, I really needed to hear that. But like, I don't know. It's just one of those things, like, once you get older and if you've gone through a lot of bullshit, you just kind of realize like, part of the human experience is just like being yourself and just enjoying your time. And I've spent so much of my own life caring way too much what other people think and not doing the things that I want to do with my limited amount of time here, because I was letting other people's thoughts dictate how I acted. And to a certain extent, you do have to care a little bit. Like, obviously you don't want to go like hurt people, but if you're just being a fucking manic person on your IG stories, like, who cares? Like, if I want to dress like this and I'm almost 30, like, who cares? I'm going to dance, have a good time. And people want to make fun of me for that. Fuck them.
Things I'll think about on my deathbed for sure. Like, why didn't I just act like myself? Why didn't I tell people this story when I could have this whole time? Things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Well, I mean, did you see any of the Jeffree stans attacking me on Twitter at all, or was that?
No, I'm horrible at going on Twitter, though.
Because I know you just followed me recently on Twitter, so I was like, oh, she has a Twitter, like.
But yeah, I go on like once a week.
They were all
so bad at it.
They were, you know what they were doing? It's because I called Daniel out on Twitter, and then all the people that attacked me from the Insider Magazine article came out of the woodwork saying, oh, look, he's trying to stir something new up for clout and this and that. And these were all the people that said that Gage's story was a lie and that Gage isn't an actual victim.
Oh my God.
Even though they're a victim, so they know what it's like. And so they're shaming someone and saying they're not a victim while they're claiming to be a victim. If you're a victim, you know what it's like to be told that you're lying, and you know what it's like to hold back a story till way later, especially if you feel close to that person, or if you feel like you forgot about it or want to forget about it, but you just can't. It's just, these people are discussing people. And like one of them started saying like, I live for you. And like, she started being really nice to me. And it's like, it's happened 3 times already where I'm arguing with a Jeffree stan, and then they start backpedaling and start kissing my ass. And I'm like, I sense the fakeness. I know what you did. You searched Google. Just stop.
I just don't understand, like, the whole victim shaming thing, especially this kind of came up a lot recently with the whole I can't think of his name, Seth and like David and stuff, like when it came to the Vlog Squad. And nobody gives a fuck when it's a guy. And it's so true. It's like, obviously we don't want to undermine like the experiences of women, because women statistically do get assaulted more.
Yeah.
But it's still like, okay, well, a guy comes out and says something, no one cares, because like, oh, well, you're a guy and you bite off the other guy. It's like, if someone drugs you and threatens to tase you, probably not.
Especially if it's someone famous that you're coming out about, it's automatically clout. It's automatically looking for attention. It's automatically a lie because you don't like them. It's like, no, you listen to people. Just seriously listen to victims, listen to people. You gotta educate yourselves if you're gonna pretend that you're the only victim and that men can't be victims, or like this guy can't be a victim because the person he's talking about is your favorite celebrity. No, scratch that mindset. It's gross. I don't like it.
Oh my God. I just saw a really funny meme actually that was like, I wish I could find it, but it was like pop punk kids when their favorite musician is getting called out, because like pop punk singers are kind of notorious for being like predatory towards their fans. And the meme is like a blind guy walking like with a cane, like they can't see.
It's true. Look, even a more like, okay, I made that video. I made a video with Amore that I haven't put out on my YouTube yet, because she was interviewed for the article and she completely denounced everything that happened, said Gage and Jeffree are the same size, so how could that possibly be true? And like, I know them, and like Gage consented, all this stuff. And I recorded a video with her to kind of interview her, not really interview her. We were going to put this in the podcast and make it last week's episode, but I decided it's not the same look. It's not the same vibe. It was going to be a table session. Mandi wanted it to be that, but Mandi, listen, she admitted everything. She admitted that she was scared because of the attorneys. I will put this video out eventually on my YouTube, maybe soon, because it's like the subject is right now being searched about and all that. And
well, we could put out 2 videos this week.
Yeah, I could probably just put out little clips from that video because I don't like that whole video. Look, I love her. I know she's not watching this because she's not as supportive as she used to be, and like, whatever, it doesn't matter. She's doing her own thing, but she admitted to a lot of things. She admitted to being scared of Jeffree's attorneys. She admitted that she apologized to Gage. She just admitted a lot, and it actually made me happy to see that she was owning up to her just speaking out of fear and like lying because she didn't know what else to do when she was contacted by Kat. She thought Kat was just like an investigator for Jeffree and like this, that. She was like, it was too much. It was messy. So her part in this whole article, she wants to kind of redeem herself. And I'll put out that video. And I mean, I will put it,
and can change their mind too. I mean, she could have really thought back then that he was lying and changed her mind, and that's totally okay too.
Yeah, no, but she didn't even think he was lying. Like, she knew this happened. It was 10 years of us knowing that they hooked up, but I guess she didn't think of it as SA. I think she just thought of it as hooking, like a straight guy hooking up with a not straight guy. But if the victim says that it's SA, then it's SA. And if he says why, you got to like understand why. If he just says it's SA when they consented and all that, then don't like fully, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm contradicting myself right there. So whatever.
There's also the thing where, in my experience, like I've had a lot of those situations where I was like really, really pressured by someone and I just consented to get it over with because I was too scared to say no. And that's still like SA. Like, yeah, you can still consent. You can still go through with the act, but you can not want it the entire time you're doing it and feel disgusting. And why do you even want to hook up with someone if they said no 10 times, then the 11th time they finally say yes when they're like super messed up on some sort of substance? Like, how is that fun for anybody other than like our words?
Yeah. And you know what else I consider SA is someone sending a nude to someone who didn't ask for that nude, because
it's just online flashing.
Yeah, Chris Avery Bennett was also interviewed in that magazine article, and I do want to bring her up real quick because of the fact that she got sent an unsolicited picture from Jeffree, and then all of Jeffree's stands are saying, oh, but you're not a victim. That doesn't make you a victim. It does. If this person felt uncomfortable, this could have traumatized her. It could have made her feel all sorts of unconfident and just like weird. If they say that they feel like it was SA, then it was SA. If they didn't ask for that nude, then it's SA. So just don't be ignorant when it comes to that. I did want to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can understand why people are like, well, that's not straight up SA, because like SA is obviously very serious and stuff, but it's still like a form of like, I don't know, misconduct. Like,
yeah, it doesn't have to be physical assault. Like, yeah. I guess there's terms to everything, but it's just what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And we know that that's not right. It's if someone says that they don't feel comfortable with something.
Yeah, like, I never understood people who do that. Like, it's mostly guys, obviously, but like, I've never in my life been like, I really want to just send a picture of my genitals to someone out
of nowhere.
Yeah, just like,
they could just send it to your family. Like, that's weird.
What? Don't
you feel uncomfortable, like, to know that you're just sending it to a random person that you don't know what they're gonna do with it? You don't know where it's gonna go. Like,
yeah, I'm like, I don't even.
And you're hurting them.
I don't even send those normally now because I got posted online like years ago and I was traumatized by it. So now it's like I don't even send that shit.
Is it illegal now? It's pretty illegal now, right? To post.
Oh yeah, it's a revenge porn. I don't know if you can say that word, but that's totally illegal now.
You could or you
And
can't say that
thank
word.
God. Millennials were traumatized so Gen Z could fly.
Yeah, I don't think Gen Z fully understands that when we were on the internet, I've said this before, it was a lawless place. We didn't have the rules that you guys have. There was a lot of CP going around that were like blackmail CP. There was a lot of everything.
That's what mine was. Yeah, I was 13.
I mean, I had that
posted.
too from sticky drama. So it's just like it was a very toxic place back then, and maybe that's why we're very, I don't know, like advanced on the internet now. Like not us specifically as millennials, but like the internet culture and the generations on the internet now. The internet itself is very advanced when it comes to rules and like regulations. I don't know.
Trial and error. I mean, that's really with any new form of technology or just something new to like a society, community, whatever. Like you have to like kind of figure out, okay, well, someone's doing this wrong, so we all agree that we shouldn't do that, and vice versa. But yeah,
I agree. I don't agree with what the PRs do. The PREADAT. Are we allowed to spell it?
PR what? What are you spelling?
The editors with the pr.
Oh, you can say predator.
Oh, you could.
I think.
Alien versus Predator.
I mean, I've been saying
I don't
that.
agree. I don't agree with. I feel like I've been saying it too, but I just like sometimes forget to censor myself, and then sometimes I'm like,
I mean, realistically, we're not even monetized yet, so we could technically say whatever.
Yeah, but you could like not get your channel monetized if you're cursing in it.
Oh.
Or if it's an inappropriate channel. If it's inappropriate enough. Like if, let's say my friend on TikTok, she has like the capability of being in the creator fund, but she's not because they won't put ads on her. Like they won't bring her into the creator fund because all of like her niche is just porn.
Yeah.
Like her mom being a porn star and her like following in her mom's footsteps and all that. So like,
I mean, that's kind of understandable though, because there are so many young users on TikTok, which is probably why I got banned.
You didn't get banned on TikTok. You got live banned. And I want to know why, because you didn't tell me.
Okay, so you saw the beginning of it where I went to this bar. It's called Barsmith, and they have like techno house music. It's really fun. You were in the live for a bit, so you could see us having a good time.
Yeah.
And I was just drinking, having fun. Like I wasn't being crazy. And we were in like our own little private like booth table area. So I was just like dancing on live. And I had like, you know, my normal lives and maybe have like 7-8 people at the most. And then out of fucking nowhere, my live just shot up and I got like over 350 people in it. And I was like, what is going on?
I feel like if you're live long enough that they'll just be like, oh, push to your followers.
I think someone shared it because it said someone was sharing my live like a couple of times. So
nice.
I think someone maybe posted on like 4chan or like, I don't fucking know. But all these like weird like straight talk type people came into my thing and they were like, Trump 2024, this bitch is like gross, and they started like making fun of me and like, oh my god, she looks possessed, like, are you emo? And like, I don't know, they were just like
all these people look the same and I could already picture them.
Yeah, they all just started harassing me and I was like, what the fuck? And so I was getting like pissed because I was just having a good time and now I'm literally getting harassed for just like dancing. Like it was so weird. And then this is what I think got me banned. I don't know 100% because it was a little while after, but I was like getting mad because they kept saying flash us, show your tits or get the fuck out and stuff, like just being really dumb and misogynistic. And so I had like a shirt on, I had like a little bit of cleavage and I was like, here, you want to see my fucking here you go. But I didn't flash anyone. They
were probably waiting so they could all press report at the same time. Like,
yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's why I got banned. Because like, I don't know, it was a little bit later, but then it said I got banned. So I went to IG Live and then the same people came over there and started harassing me.
Whoa, they really stalked.
Yeah.
Okay,
they really were like on me.
Wait. So they all have a TikTok Like,
Yeah.
did any of them comment your videos or anything after?
Yeah. So on my Snakes on a Plane video, they were commenting like, "Oh, she was gonna flash us. Like the IG live was popping. Da da da." Oh, and I started getting really mad because all these people kept screaming at me well, maybe they weren't screaming, but they were just like, "Oh, look at the corona. Like, why aren't you wearing a mask? Like, da da da." I'm like, I'm literally not around anybody and it's fucking legal.
How do they know if you're not vaccinated?
Inside.
How do they know if you're vaccinated or not? Either way.
Exactly.
It's no one's business anymore. At this point, people should shut the hell up. Like, people should shut the fuck up when it comes to masks at this point. Seriously. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care. Like, shut up. You don't know what anyone...
In my state, there's no masks required anywhere here, first off. And second, I was not around anybody. I was with the one person I was with, and that's it. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I agree with wearing masks in public, but not when it's like, A, if you're vaccinated, which people don't know, and B, you weren't around many people. Like, seriously. It's
socially distanced, and I was drinking. It wasn't like, I don't know.
I hope all these people come to this video.
Yeah, I'll show you my
really
tits.
Do. Hey, come here. Get me banned off YouTube. I'd love to see you try.
I know.
Oh, God, that wasn't a challenge. Pathetic. I was kidding. Never mind. Don't do that.
It was so dumb. I was just like, whatever. So now I can't go on TikTok live for 2 months, which is like really excessive in my opinion.
I've been live banned before for 1 week and I don't know what I did at all.
Yeah.
Literally, I may have cussed. That's the only thing I could think of, that I was probably cussing too much or something. But that's why I told someone once, like, hey, don't cuss too much. You're going to get banned. And then everyone started talking shit to me. They were like, you don't get banned for cussing on live. And I was like, what? I think I did. I don't know. Relax. And people are just, that's why I say people on that app, a lot of them are kind of bullies.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the people that came in your room
trolls.
were like, yeah. But also at the same time, it was straight talk.
I hate straight talk.
That's the mean. And that doesn't mean straight people, guys. It just means straight talk just means strictly straight, no gays type of TikTok. And no alt.
Boy hair.
No alt, no allies, none of that. Yeah, and fuckboy behavior.
And small dick energy.
And licking each other's faces as a
and couple driving home as fast as they can to kiss their dad on the lips.
Oh, that hurt.
It's true though.
I didn't expect that.
Driving their lifted trucks as fast as they can with their Blue Lives Matter sticker on the back.
You broke your wrist how?
I fell on Friday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I fell. You can't obviously see it, but I broke it like in here. And I know it's broken because I've broken it before. So I know how it feels. It's definitely like just like a fracture because there's no like bone sticking out or whatever.
It's the worst.
But honestly, I'm not going to go get x-rayed because I already know it's either broken or it's not. And the last time they just made me wear a brace anyway. So I already have a brace.
Yeah, but you know why they make you wear that? So it can like not grow out of place.
Yeah. No, I know. I have one.
I broke my toe like 5 days ago, the same night that my friend Jordan broke her foot, not toe. She broke her foot and I broke my toe. And we sent each other bruised toe and feet pictures that same
morning. God. Send me feet pics or it's not real.
It was a full moon. Wait, you want to know how I broke my wrist?
How?
By doing this all the time.
Whatever. Limp wrist.
See, like if I lean my big ass head on my limped wrist.
Yeah, I can't even do that right now. I can't really bend it. Like I can't do this or it hurts.
Me with my toe. And I keep doing it because I forget because the pain like went away after 2 days. And then when I crease my feet on my toes, I'm like, ow, why did I do that?
You'll never be a ballet dancer.
I am a ballet dancer. Wait, so let's move on to a different subject because I realize I have a question for you and for the audience, but obviously in real time for you. So when it comes to, and this is just like one of those controversial things that happen and like, how do you feel about it when it does happen? Mm-hmm. And since this is a 2000s podcast, when you see tweets or videos or content from the 2000s that resurface and suddenly those people, the influencers that made those those tweets and content or whatever get canceled or called out for it and have to make apology videos. How do you feel knowing that they weren't canceled 10 years ago when they left those publicly. Like, what do you think about that? I have my personal opinion about it, but I just want to know, like, what's your take on that?
Honestly, like cancel culture is obviously very good in the way that it started, which was holding horrible people accountable for their actions. But that's the part of cancel culture that really doesn't validate everything else. Like, you're going to go out of your way to dig up something off color somebody said 10 years ago, and like nobody cared then. So why do you care now, kind of thing. Like, I understand if someone straight up says something really offensive, then yeah, we should probably ask them to apologize. But saying off color things that maybe aren't acceptable today, I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with you. Obviously, racist things that were said in the past need to be addressed, and people need to be like, the people that are watching, the people being held accountable are the ones being educated on, oh, maybe I should be a better person too. Maybe this, and this, or else this, and this. And it shouldn't always be consequences. Like, it shouldn't be a consequential thing. You should just know better. But when it comes to, like, let's say someone posts a tweet 10 years ago about a girl's body image or a guy's body image, like, oh, like, look, this person's so fat, which is wrong. Or like, oh, I look, let's say, like, you're talking about yourself. Ew. No, you're allowed to these days. So that's a bad example. Let's just say, ew, this fat person in front of me, like, smells or whatever. Like, let's say someone says that.
I used to do that shit all the time.
I used to act like an asshole too. And I hold myself accountable. Like, never mind. I'm not even gonna say it. But listen, if I have a fat dad, guys, but I'm not gonna be like, I have a black boyfriend. I'm not racist. I'm not one of those people. So I have a fat dad, but you could still be fat phobic when you have fat family members. No offense to my dad, by the way. He lost a lot of weight this past year. Anyway, if you tweet something like that 10 years ago, don't cancel the person, call them out, sure, show them the screenshot of it, ask them, is this how you feel today? What's going on? Why did you say that? Like, make them feel uncomfortable, sure, but don't full on cancel them. And then every single thing they post after that, what if a fat person was next to you? Wow, I'm so funny. Like, ironic things to try to, like, bring up their past, especially if they bring up that they feel bad about it. I get it if a person's ignoring it and not holding themselves accountable, but I just feel like it's stupid when someone holds themselves accountable, leave it alone. Like, the people that are, like, pissed off about Trisha being problematic in the past, I say drop that shit already. She's held herself accountable and she's been really real. And I know you have your different feelings about her, but I'm just saying my side. People need to drop it.
I'm a little indifferent to her right now because I think it seems like maybe she is changing her image a little bit online, which is cool. Like, you know, she's not being as, like, offensive for attention. It's just like, I don't know. She was doing it all up until like a year ago. And I'm not saying she can't change. I just would rather give it more time before I personally, like, accept her again, because I want to make sure it's genuine and not just because it's popular to be a good person. You know what I mean?
It makes sense. But at the same time, I feel the genuinity of it for some reason. I just could because I used to not like her. I used to publicly post things.
Well, I think you connect with her a lot. Like, you relate to her, I think.
Oh yeah, like, whenever I see her, like, lash out, especially, it hurts me. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I've been like this to my own friends, and I feel like I should say sorry right now and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like she's really strong for all the hate that she gets. Even though, look, to the people that think I'm excusing her racism in the past, no, I'm not doing that. And also, I don't have, like, the right to. I do have the right to excuse her anti-Semitism because it isn't. A lot of you might view it as that. I'm Jewish. I'm Israeli. I think that what she's doing is cute. Whatever. I don't think that she's, like, legitimately converting. Maybe eventually.
She pushes the Jewish thing just to get a rise out of people, though, too.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what people I think don't get.
so that, and on top of it, like, people don't realize this, that a lot of Israeli people that are native to Israel or Palestine appreciate having their culture brought up. It's not a thing where it's like, you're talking about my culture, except kids, like, younger kids these days that are, like, trying to, like, mimic their friends around them that get offended by everything, also want to find a reason to be offended. So they're like, I'm oppressed too. I'm oppressed too. Oppression Olympics is so dumb. But all in all, I see that she's not trying to harm people these days. I watched Frenemies, you do too, and we both see that she like brings up the shit that she's done and says like, oh, I did say that. Oh, I did smoke crack last year. Like she says these things. And I'm like, okay, I believe her. Like it's coming out of her mouth. I believe her. I know it's a scary thought, but it's true. If it comes out of Trisha Paytas' mouth, I believe her.
Well, honestly too, like I was really, I don't know what the word is. Like my views changed a lot even recently, because before she started talking about all the David stuff on Frenemies, she would always bring it up and she'd always talk about Jason and stuff. And I'm like, girl, like you need to move on. Like she was getting like really, I mean, she still kind of is, but she's like really obsessed with that situation because obviously it was traumatic for her. So I understand that. But at some point you just like, you really need to move on and stop like trying to fuck with them. But obviously now, because she kept kind of pressing it, they're being held accountable for their shitty actions. So I empathize with her more, I guess, and I understand where she was coming from, but she was kind of being crazy about it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get what you're saying, but I think I get why I relate with her too, because I hate seeing people who are winning that are bad people keep winning. And you know me, I won't shut up about it till something happens with Jeffree, with the bling ring. Not something happens to Jeffree. I don't want something to happen to Jeffree, but you know what I mean? Like I want him self accountable.
No, I get it. When I see people that like, I don't know, I was friends with and they're shitty people and they're like, you know, going out and having fun or being popular and stuff. And I'm like, fuck you. You're a fucking bitch. Like you did all these things to me.
She
like,
did go overboard with it. She definitely, she probably went overboard, but it was probably her, like mental health combined with all that. So I get it.
Yeah,
it makes sense. I mean, I'm in 2021, I'm going to give 2021 Trish a chance. That's what I'm thinking. I know that in the past I have posted things about her that I like called her out for anti-Semitism and all this, and maybe I was following on to some type of bandwagon, and I don't like the videos that she makes where she's like, eat with me. Like I feel like that's fake, or she's trying really hard to make people happy, even though it's not from that part isn't from a genuine place. But who am I to really say what she's doing that's real and what she's doing that's fake? So I guess that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's all social media. She clearly plays a character as well. I mean, I play myself up on social media a little bit too, so I get it.
Yeah, and I'm more used to play a character. I feel like she became that character within the past 10 years. Yeah, with that video, I really am scared to put that. Like, I'm only scared to put that out because like people are gonna look at it and be like, she's in like. Amor, I'm so sorry for watching this. I'm not trying to call you out on like anything at all. You know, I love you. Come over. But people are going to be like, why is she like so? Just wait. Just watch it. That's all. Whatever.
I need to come back to LA. I want to
come back. I already decided if you come back, you could stay at my place. It's just like you'll have your own key because I'm always like in and out. But we'll a lot, obviously, and we'll do an in-person episode.
Dude, I was so convinced, like I'm not even kidding, like the other night I was just like, I'm going to quit my job. I have enough money to live for a while, like in my savings, like I'm just gonna drive and just like do whatever the fuck I want.
A lot of people do that.
I want to so bad, but like I've been in my job for so long and it's just like I'm not that like adventurous, you know,
if you ever leave your job, if you ever not quit, let's say you get fired or let go or something happens, you can always go back to Arizona. So
that's exactly how I feel. I'm like, I know I can always come back. Like it's not really a problem. It's just like,
listen, one of my best friends, Ashley, that lives in Massachusetts right now, she spontaneously overnight we met. She looked like Justin Bieber and I was like, oh, so cute. We became good friends in 2010. This was literally like the ending of like Sticky Drama and everything else. It was literally the border of that. It was like I have 2 chapters in life or 3. Anyway, she came out here just to visit. Me and her hit it off and she was like, I want to live here because this is so fun and I want to just hang out with you every day. I was like, hang out, let's do it. She was homeless for like 2-3 days because I didn't have a place. I was just living with my parents and they didn't let people sleep over. So she stayed in my car for like 2 days. But then she started going to the dorm, like she started going to the same college that I was going to, which is like Art Institute. She was starting to live in the dorms for free and like all this stuff. She made all these friends. She's the other friend that went hide and seek at Miley's house with me. So it was like she came out here and like her whole life changed. She became a DJ and a manager at a strip club. She was friends with me when I became friends with Krayshawn, which is the girl that sings Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi,
I love Krayshawn.
Yeah,
Don't get me started on Krayshawn.
Listen, she's awesome. She still follows me. I'm like really honored by that because like we don't talk anymore. We don't talk at all anymore. But like,
I love her.
Yeah, I was like a big fan and friend. I'm a really big fan of a lot of my friends. Like I make a lot of friends that are famous, and I'm still a fan of them, and I'm not ashamed to admit that at all. Like my friend Nikki Lipstick, she's like a really pretty girl on Instagram. She's like an influencer, and I'm a fan of her too because she's like always at a Barbie house and like. She just plays up the whole pink scene queen thing. Yeah. She is a literal, she kept that image like from 2007. She's never changed her image. She's real to herself. I love her. You guys should look up Nikki Lipstick for real. It's not like a paid promotion or anything. Speaking of paid promotions, today's episode of Podcast 2000 is brought to you guys by... Did I say brought to you guys by? Brought to you by Black Wolf Nation. Yes, that's right. This podcast has a sponsorship. Black Wolf Nation. Black Wolf Nation is a very. Do you remember what Black Wolf? Do you remember what Black Wolf Nation is from last episode?
They're a men's skincare line.
They are, and why are they for men?
Because men need to get their act together and clean their shit up.
And how are they going to do that?
With Black Wolf. Hello, get the cleanser.
They're not going to get some feminine product. I mean, you can, because I use all sorts of products. But if you don't want a pink bottle or something that looks girly and you're like one of those, it's fine. Spread your toxic masculinity, but wash it off your face at the end of the day with Black Wolf Nation to come with the moisturizer.
I love that. Wash off the toxic masculinity with Black Wolf Nation.
Buy them in stores. No, just kidding. Buy them online. All right. Cool. They're going to love me for this. Anyway.
Do you want to talk about Chris Crocker?
I would love to talk about Chris Crocker.
We love him. Chris, if
this
you
is
watch
a Chris Crocker friendly podcast.
Love you.
Eventually, he's going to come on here for sure.
I hope so. We love Chris Crocker.
I want to say this week he reached out to me because he saw that I was and look, Chris, I know that you may have not wanted me to bring everything up, so I'm not going to, but we did have a certain conversation that led to me being like, wow, this person really cares like about how other people feel, and it's not even for their image. Like he knows like I'm not going to just hurt his image ever. He like by the way, pronoun mistake, they. I don't know. Sorry, Chris. I don't know what
they're non-binary.
I know they came out as trans recently, I believe. So yeah, like literally very recently, or at least embraced it more and said that they're going to start transitioning. So I'm either going to call Chris they. Chris, I'm going to call you they right now, but anyone could correct me in the comments. So Chris and I were friends in 2008, just like I was friends with every other fucking person at that time, and we hung out, we got drunk together, we had a great time. It was amazing, everything was fun. We didn't do anything sexual, none of that, but they saw my posts on Twitter. Hey,
I was looking for his pronouns.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm listening.
Okay, wait, what are they?
I don't know. I was looking.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
Well, I'm sorry if we misgender you. I have no idea.
Don't worry. It's okay. People will correct. People know that we wanted.
I genuinely don't know. I was trying to look it up. It doesn't say.
Literally, Chris would be fine with this. Chris knows that we are learning people. Chris is okay with it. So if other people want to come for us, go through Chris first. Relax.
I promise I'm not texting.
I know. I thought you were. Sorry. I'm sorry. No. Okay. Guys, you don't even know. We both were very unprepared for an episode like a while ago, and we were just both like on our phones through it, and we were like,
okay, let me back up. I was not just on my phone. I was looking for my In-N-Out delivery.
Yes, I get it. And I was hungry.
The girl was drinking all day in the sun. I was waiting for my double with grilled onion to come through the door.
Long story short, it was an episode with not much like stuff that we really had to say anyway. We didn't end up putting it out there. It was kind of messy. We were both hungover and like,
I was tired. I was like, I need to eat. Like, at least if I had ate before, I probably would have been fine. But I look cute.
Okay, so let me just say the Chris thing real quick.
Yeah.
So he reached out to me because he saw all my tweets about Daniel and like how predatory behavior needs to be held accountable, and they made sure that they never made me uncomfortable, and like was genuinely curious if they ever did and wanted to know. And like we did have a longer conversation after that, but I immediately was like, oh my God, no, you're literally the love of my life. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I love you. You're a really good person. You inspire me.
He's a good person. Like, you can just tell intentions too. Like, Daniel's
I'm a fan of my friends. That's one of my friends that I'm a fan of. Like, he's amazing. And he knows that I comment his stuff all the time. And like, I'm like, oh, my inspiration. I love you, Chrissy, blah, 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 blah. I call him Chrissy. All that. I'm not saying, oh, I have nicknames for him. Like, I'm not like trying to be like, we're besties, but I call him Chrissy because anyone named Chris is Chrissy to me automatically, and to him more. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And so I just think he's like, it led me to, so the reason he reached out to me because he thought something was about him. So he wanted to make sure that the thing wasn't about him. And I was like, why would this literally, you've never been that type of person. I didn't even know him when I was underage. Like, and you, like, he knows him. They know themselves. Sorry for the continuous mispronouncing. I'm so sorry. Pronouncing. And it just made me feel really good about this person because they've held themselves accountable for so many things that they've done in the past, which also made me think about the subject that I brought up about people's old tweets and old content coming to bite them, even if they're an activist in their community and like they care about things and they're anti-racist actively. All that. And I posted a long tweet / Facebook post about how he is just like an amazing person. And like, I just love him. And I just wanted to bring that up. We love you, Chris. You're a really good person. I can't wait for your journey to unfold in front of all of our eyes. And if you're not going to do it publicly, that's also great. And that's your choice. So I love Chris Crawford.
I just loved, like, even back in the day, I remember, of course, when Leave Britney Alone went viral, and I remember first being shown that video and people were like laughing at it. And I was like, why are you laughing at this guy who's clearly upset? And I was a huge fan of Britney back in the day too. And so I related to what she was going through at that time. And I was like, people are giving her hate when clearly she just needs help or guidance or something. And everyone's like going after her. And Chris was like one of the few people who was actually like not insane and was supporting her.
He came off insane for the time era that it was to people that weren't really in the alt scene or anything like that. He came off insane to the conservatives. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and just in general, I mean, even like the edgy, like scene, like assholes that we knew back in the day.
Oh yeah. They'd make fun of him.
People just like mocked him and stuff. And it's like, okay, I understand maybe it's a little funny because he's getting so emotional over a celebrity, but like, you know, when you see someone you love being attacked, like sometimes that brings it out.
Yeah. And, you know, I was like a fan of his before I met him, like I already said before. And I used to watch his videos before the Leave Britney Alone thing. I'm not trying to sound like a pick-me original, like, by the way, whenever I say, I knew this. But I'm saying that because when I watched his videos,
context.
When I watched his videos before Leave Britney Alone, I did kind of look at him like, he's too much. Like, you need to relax. And I was 17 when I was watching his videos in the beginning. So I wasn't fully developed in the head thinking like, oh, this is him expressing himself. I thought also he was trolling, which he was, by the way. He still does that kind of stuff. But like,
he's hilarious.
I'll admit I was like slightly in my heart, like a little bit of like, not a hater, just like, you know, when you post something, you're like, LOL, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
So I remember I thought that way, but then when I saw the Leave Britney Alone thing, I'm like, okay, this is really him because he's actually crying and he's still like dressed up like this. And being transgender wasn't like a publicly known thing and people weren't fully educated on that. So I didn't think he was a transgender person. I thought it was just a guy wearing a wig trying to act funny and crazy.
Yeah.
So that was a video that kind of turned my feelings about him around. And it's just like, since then, even I have a parody on my YouTube of him and John Hawk because they dated. while we were friends, while John, like right after John broke up with Amore, he dated Chris Crocker. And Amore was like, oh my God, why would he do that to me? Like, that hurts. I'm like, haha. Anyway, so we made a parody video of Chris and John, and we didn't make fun of anything about Chris. Like we literally just dressed my friend Vicky up as Chris, and then we were just making John and Chris act like two like John Hawks, which is basically like over egotistical friend like ex-lovers that live in a house together.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm just kind of bringing that up to try to say like the most I've ever made fun of Chris is in a parody video, and yet so many people were online bullying him and threatening him and all that, and he's been so like stainless steel, if that's even strong. Stainless steel, or is it just steel? Stainless steel, platinum, titanium. He has just been strong this past 15 years. Oh wow, your lighting just got amazing. I don't know.
Oh really?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love Chris. Chris, we love you. You're great. You're strong. You're strong-minded. Just keep doing what you're doing. You've been the inspiration for me to post those crazy manic stories that I want to delete in the morning, but I know I shouldn't, because being yourself leads to happiness ultimately.
Yeah. I can't bend my wrist too much, but we love you.
Sounded like I just farted.
Should we make our thumbnail?
Oh yeah, let's do that. I think we're pretty good with this episode, right?
Yeah, I think we can close it out.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, you guys, if you have any questions of anything we spoke about today, or if you feel like anything left you with like confusion or a bad taste in your mouth or anything, leave a comment. Definitely leave a comment. Let us know. I know I'm willing to debate or have a conversation or learn or unlearn things, as long as it's constructive and you're not going to attack us or be angry or whatever. And I don't know if you feel that way, but you might. Maybe.
Yeah. Also, let me just ask the viewers this. And you better comment. Should I take my nose ring out and just get a septum?
I thought you were picking your nose and telling them, like, I'm going to ask you this.
Did I just get a septum, or do we just like decide? Let me know in the comments below.
Ooh, I won't give you my opinion because I just want to see what the viewers say.
Yeah, let me know, because I'm thinking of doing
Let her know, guys. And also, viewers, question for me, because I do have a job at a side job. I do have a side job at a barbershop, and there's a colorist there, and I want to know, should I have her dye my hair teal? Let me know in the comments. Should I dye my hair teal/blue, or will I go bald? They all told me I won't. They all told me it doesn't really kill your hair. It could damage it, dry it out, whatever.
Do it.
Should I? I will.
Do it.
Okay,
please.
Guys.
You'd look so good.
I'll be dyeing my hair teal, but will my hair look thinner if it's teal?
No.
Like, I'm scared. Okay.
It'll look hot. Do it. I'm
down. And I'm also down to find out what next week's theme episode is gonna be. I word things so weirdly, and that's how you know English is my second language, because I word things out of order, in the order that Hebrew is spoken. I do the same thing. Don't worry about it. And English is my first language. But I can't wait for next week. Tell me what the theme is, like in the middle of the week, or you can tell me now. Should we have the audience choose the theme? No. They can choose it later on down the line. I have an idea for it. I'll text you about it though. Okay. I can't wait. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for tuning in to Podcast 2000, episode 3, with your hosts, Smolpuppz and Eden Shizzle. We are out. Seacrest out.